Okay, so let's be real. Product marketing manager interviews are really hard. And I'm going to admit something that I don't really like talking about on interviews, but I have not been at a job for more than a year and a half in product marketing, and that is over 10 years of technically job hopping. So you could say that I'm pretty darn good at interviewing. So in this video, I want to go over the most common questions I get asked on product marketing manager interviews and the answers I gave that led me to landing a job. All right, so let's get into it. So the first question I get asked, and I feel like this is an opening question on any kind of interview, but it's the question of, tell me about yourself. So my old response would be, hi, my name is Natalie. I'm 33 years old. I was born in Castro Valley, California. I love to do Pilates and I love my cat. Now my updated and my go forward answer and a better response would be to play to my unfair advantages. If you're in the content creation world, you know that that's your competitive differentiators, your unfair advantages. And what I have really that makes me a more compelling candidate over others. So I know that product marketers that are very strong in their field usually are a combination of really good writers, they're very collaborative, and they're technically focused. In my experience, I'm a strong writer and I love to work on different types of content. I actually wrote a book 6 years ago and I enjoy adding content to my own blog and really increasing my own personal brand. I'm also extremely collaborative and believe in bringing together a team towards a common goal. In my spare time, I play on a co-ed soccer team and I love to really tap on the strengths of those around me on the team to again win and come together as a team. Now, don't lie about things that you don't actually do outside of work or experience you don't actually have. But this is an opportunity not just to fire off random things about yourself, but really to cater to your unfair advantages of what makes you a better or more compelling candidate to go with over someone else. So for me personally, it's the ability to write. I can write long form content like a book. I can also write short form content. I can talk about those examples like when I did LinkedIn ads, for example. I also leverage the fact that I'm extremely collaborative and team oriented when I talk about working together as a team on a co-ed soccer team. I could also mention how I'm proactive in developing more technical skills even outside of work, such as with video editing for my YouTube channel. But I'll keep this one short and sweet so you don't hear me tooting my own horn. Next question I get a lot is, walk me through your resume. So my old answer would be, well, in 2008, I started working at the banana stand, and then in 2009, I started working at a dining common in Santa Barbara. No. This question provides the opportunity for you to showcase a very important skill in product marketing. And this is a spoiler alert, but a better response is actually the way you talk about your answer versus what you actually say. Watch this. So at my first product marketing position, I really learned the fundamentals of content marketing and really using my writing skills to further develop my positioning and even my ability to adjust my writing to the tone of the brand. I worked on several ebooks, I worked on more technical documentation and technical content like white papers to really connect with the language that the customers use and solve their challenges. At my next company in product marketing, I learned the value of competitive intelligence, and I owned the competitive intelligence program by researching all of our competitors, doing win-loss analysis and win-loss interviews with sales reps, whether they won a deal or they didn't, and really gather that intel, put it into very concise battle cards that the salespeople could use to win their deals. I also leverage my competitive intel knowledge by incorporating it into copy throughout our demand gen strategy. For example, I worked on a competitive ad, which after I included some competitive strengths that we had against our main competitors, increased the conversion rate by almost 250%. And as a hiring manager myself, I've seen people fall for this question many, many times. Honestly, we're really looking for you to showcase how your resume is actually a hero's journey. Show me how you started off with a certain challenge or you learned a certain fundamental of product marketing and how that company gave you the opportunity to strengthen those muscles and take on your new challenge. And as I said earlier, the main takeaway from this question is really to see how you demonstrate your storytelling skills. It's all about how you say it and not so much what you say, actually. So this is your opportunity to kind of prove to the interviewer that you know how to storytell and you got this down. Next is one of my favorite questions, and that's around cross-team collaboration. So the next question is usually formulated around how do you as a product marketer handle multiple teams with different priorities? So this could be focused on how do you manage and work with sales, or how do you manage and work with product management or customer success. So my old answer would be, well, I meet with the different teams and I send them an email and I send them a Zoom. No. So a better answer, and the answer I would use moving forward, is I'm going to use an example of how I rolled out a product launch framework cross-functionally. So after our initial launch, I met with every single team, and I mean every single team, and I sat down and I really was open to their feedback. I wanted to know what went well, what didn't, if they have any additional ideas that we could add to the standard list of materials or the bill of materials that we're going to do for our next launch. I also leveraged this time to really understand where they're coming from and what each individual team was measured on. As I got to understand each team, I built out a revised list of materials that we could do for the next launch that really aligned to the business value we anticipated from that product or feature, but also that really aligned to their individual goals and what they're measured on their individual teams. By creating these standing meetings and postmortems to understand where people were coming from, I felt like a lot of the teams really felt heard, felt seen, and also felt understood because I took the time to not only hear their positive and negative feedback from the initial launch, but I also took the time to understand how they're measured, how they're measured on in terms of performance, and really helping them to achieve their goals even within their own department through their work with the product launch. And if you're curious on how that product launch ended up and what success we drove, you can check out my latest video to learn more. So this is kind of in relation to the last question. The interviewer is really trying to understand how you collaborate with others and also checking again to see how you tell a story about that challenge. And so I think if you can reference a specific project that you did that was super cross-functional and collaborative, the better. Because again, it just showcases that you know how to tell a story and that you are able to work as a team player. Okay, so I'll be honest, this next one, I'm not sure if my answer is actually the best answer. This is my genuine answer that I have for this question. But if you have a better response to this interview question, please, I am all ears, and feel free to comment down below what your response would be. So the question is around what is your biggest weakness? My old response would be, well, I'm a perfectionist and I really care about my work. So a better answer that I use and what I have used for this question on recent interviews even is that occasionally I have a difficult time delegating tasks versus just doing it all myself. And I've really learned how to trust my teammates and lean on my team and their strengths to help me delegate and not be so overwhelmed and prone to burnout that way. And when I feel like I'm very overwhelmed and I have too much on my plate, I proactively talk with my manager about how we can prioritize certain tasks or deliverables so that I have more control over my work-life balance, but I still achieve the goals that she or he is measuring me on. So again, I'm not sure if that's the best answer to that question, but as someone that has only stayed at jobs for 1.5 years over the past 10 years, that question is a tricky one, but that's how I've answered, and I've seemed to land product marketing roles continuously. And last question is, why are you looking for a new role? So a bad answer would be, well, my manager is a total psychopath narcissist who micromanages everything I do. Shut up. Shut up. Now, I talk about this in one of my shorts, how I do believe that we should be able to answer this question honestly. And if we have a bad manager, we should be able to be open and honest about that. But where we're at right now as a society and in the tech industry specifically, We're just not there yet, to be honest, on this question, because people still act very strangely when you do say that you had a bad manager and that is what's compelling you to find a new opportunity. For better or for worse, that's the reality of the interviewing process and what people are going through. So for now, when I get this question, I focus on an answer around that right now in my current job, I am doing work that's considered outside of the scope of my original job responsibilities, and I'm really looking to strengthen, insert whatever product marketing skill in my next opportunity. Again, it sucks that we can't honestly answer this question if we did have a really poor manager for our leader, but for now, this is the way that I would approach this answer so that you're still in the running for the position and there's no awkwardness from the interviewer. So those are my rapid fire product marketing manager interview questions and answers. But I want to leave you with another piece of advice. Whether you're employed or you're actively looking for a product marketing manager role, you should always look at the job descriptions that are out there for roles or companies that you're really aspiring to be at. You want to see through job descriptions out there what skills, what credentials, what experience are companies really looking for in a product marketing manager. You want to be proactive in understanding how you can fill out your current resume with your current job. So the way I look at it is that every job I have is really an opportunity to fill me out as an even better candidate for my next opportunity. So when I join a company, I look at job descriptions that I already went through and researched, and I say, oh, I don't really have a lot of product-led growth experience. At this company, I really want to learn more about that. How can I do projects that will really strengthen that skill or that experience so that on my next interviewing experience, I have a really compelling story to tell. If you get laid off or you decide to take a little bit of a break for whatever reason, if you're raising a family or you just want to explore more entrepreneurial projects, you have a really solid foundation to lean on in terms of product marketing experience that's relevant for what companies are looking for. Alrighty, and that concludes today's video. I hope these questions and answers help you to nail your next product marketing manager interview. If you like this kind of content around technical product marketing and content creation, or you just want to see my journey, feel free to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it as a small YouTuber. And if you'd like to learn more about how I led a product marketing launch that generated $202,000 in 30 days, check out my latest video to learn more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.